Hey guys, Ben Wheeler, the Mercenary King, here with Bingin' with the Mercenary King, and I'm gonna make you guys a nice Philly cheese steak. Sandwich, like they do in Philadelphia, the second shittiest city on earth next to Detroit. Alright, so what I'm going to do is a little thing called bookends. This is the Set 11 case roundup. I'm going to start my day with Royal Paladins, the plain vanilla, the missionary position, if you will, of Vanguard, and work my way to the plain vanilla missionary position of Vanguard, Royal Paladins. I can only imagine it's in the Blizzard HQ. Oh man, guys, what are we gonna do to fill in some sets here? You know, I was like, we've already given Royal so much support. Hey, I have an idea. Give Royal support. And then they start screaming. It's like, yeah, brilliant. We'll over-support the most over-supported clan in Vanguard. Oh boy. Here we go again. So now we've got Erangel, a Margol clone as a crit trigger, who is certainly not OP whatsoever, which is sarcasm. It's going to go into every Royal Paladin deck. Like, I just know it. Almost every Royal Paladin has been like, yeah, the crit trigger. I'm like, the crit trigger. Nidal Pulsation. Pulsation Starius. Continuous deck, if you have a Vanguard with Ultimile, it gets grade +1, which is nice. And then Continuous Rearguard Brave. This unit gets +2k and resist. That's alright. That's not bad at all. As long as you have Brave. Really, though, I do like the deck thing more. And really, there's 3 cards, 3 grade 1s out there that count as a grade 2. 2 of which are Ultimile restricted. So he's just joining the party. And really, all he does is add resist, so... Aspire Painter, who is like a set 5 card turned into a grade 2, just like the other one was in set 5, I think. Set GBT5. Auto, GB1, with this, and it was for Diablo. When this unit is placed on rearguard from hand, if you have a Vanguard with Alfred or Blaster in its card name, countercharge, soul charge, and this unit gets +3k. So the thing about this thing is that a lot of these guys have like from hand abilities now, and I don't think I like it. Just because Royals is one shtick, if you will, is summoning stuff from the deck. I don't know if I like it. Nubatama. Do I want to do commons rares? Nah, I'll divide this up. If you're not interested in the commons, just skip ahead until you see me working with the rares. Yep. What happened to the crit trick? Oh, there it is. So this is interesting. Hardworking Stealth Rogue Torasada. Now, there was already a draw trigger in Token Rambo that went into Soul and countercharge, but this is a crit trigger that goes into the Soul and countercharges. And I hope that it... Hey guys, Ben Wheeler, the Mercenary King, here with Bingin' with the Mercenary King, and I'm going to make you guys a nice Philly cheese steak sandwich. Like they do in Philadelphia, the second shittiest city on earth next to Detroit. Alright. So, what I'm going to do is a little thing called bookends. This is the Set 11 case roundup. I'm going to start my day with Royal Paladins, the plain vanilla, the missionary position, if you will, of Vanguard, and work my way to the plain vanilla missionary position of Vanguard, Royal Paladins. I can only imagine it's in the Blizzard HQ. Oh man, guys, what are we gonna do to fill in some sets here? You know, I was like, we've already given Royal so much support. Hey, I have an idea. Give Royal support. And then they start screaming. It's like, yeah, brilliant. We'll over-support the most over-supported clan in Vanguard. Oh boy. Here we go again. So now we've got Erangel, a Margol clone as a crit trigger, who is certainly not OP whatsoever, which is sarcasm. It's going to go into every Royal Paladin deck. Like, I just know it. Almost every Royal Paladin has been like, yeah, the crit trigger. I'm like, the crit trigger. Night of Pulsation. Pulsation Starius. Continuous deck. If you have a Vanguard with Ultimile, it gets grade +1, which is nice. And then Continuous Rearguard Brave. This unit gets +2k and resist. That's alright. That's not bad at all. As long as you have Brave. Really, though, I do like the deck thing more. And really, there's 3 cards, 3 grade 1s out there that count as a grade 2. 2 of which are Ultimile restricted. So he's just joining the party. And really, all he does is add resist. So, Aspire Painter, who is like a set 5 card turned into a grade 2, just like the other one was in set 5, I think. Set GBT5. Auto GB1 with this, and it was for Diablo. When this unit is placed on rearguard from hand, if you have a Vanguard with Alfred or Blaster in its card name, countercharge, soul charge, and this unit gets +3k. So the thing about this thing is that a lot of these guys have like from hand abilities now, and I don't think I like it. Just because Royals is one shtick, if you will, is summoning stuff from the deck. I don't know if I like it. Nubatama. Do I want to do commons rares? Nah, I'll divide this up. If you're not interested in the commons, just skip ahead until you see me working with the rares. Yep. What happened to the crit trick? Oh, there it is. So this is interesting. Hardworking Stealth Rogue Torasada. Now, there was already a draw trigger in Token Rambo that went into Soul and Countercharge, but this is a crit trigger that goes into the Soul and Countercharges. And I hope that it turns out well. I don't know how strong a card it will be, but I'm sure that it's going to make waves. The sort of waves that defies metas and stuff like that. And the art's pretty good. The art's really nice. Huh. Aggressive Stealth Rogue China. She's adorable. My new draw trigger of choice. Stealth Fiend Daruma Collapse. Now, he's an interesting card. It makes it really worth playing stand triggers in this build. Auto Rearguard GB1. Retire this unit. When any player's stood unit is stood due to the effect of a card during your turn, you may pay the cost. Choose any number of player units in the same column as that unit, and they get +2k until end of turn. If you choose one or more cards, draw a card. So I just realized something funny. You can give like +2k to your opponent's Vanguard if you wanted, or to your Vanguard, or like all the cards in your column. Like you have it over here, you choose a card over here, and then like this column gets +2k each. And then you get a draw card. It's just a really good card. Really interesting plays. And plus the 2k can really help. Like, one of the things that makes Bladewing strong against Nubatama, and you might be like, oh, Bladewing wouldn't dominate, just waste the soul? Yeah, it would waste the soul. But what makes it good is the fact that you will basically only have, like, maybe one big card and then a bunch of Enigmatic Assassins on the field. So, you can summon it, sand it, give it +4k. Oh, it's still 9k. That's what I'm talking about. But with this would make it like 11k. Stealth Dragon Tengal. Auto Rearguard. When a dominated unit attacks during your turn, and until end of turn, this unit gets Auto Rearguard. Put this unit into the soul. At the end of your turn, pay the cost. If you do, countercharge 1. Plenty of countercharge already. Here we have a reprint from the good old days of set 13. Act during the Reverse Crisis. Act Rearguard. Counterblast 1, put this unit into the soul. Nubatama Vanguard. If the number of cards in your opponent's hand is 3 or more, your opponent chooses a card from his or her hand at random, binds it face down, and at the end of that turn, the opponent puts that card that was bound to the effect into his hand. His or her hand. So basically, he temporarily restricts guard in a certain way. And he can kill people. Like, you can use Sukamorikan, Shiranui, and this guy to bring your opponent's hand down to like 2. It's great. Before a full field attack, it's good. Stealth Beast Uzui Tachi. Auto Rearguard GB1, retire this unit. When a dominated unit attacks, hits during your turn, you may pay the cost. If you do, your opponent chooses a card from his or her hand and discards it. This is nice. I like the fact that they're mixing in the discard and bind mechanic in with the dominate mechanic, just because it'll make the deck more of a edgy piece of shit or something. I don't know. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be more powerful. It's going to be just so many different things. The fact that it retires it doesn't really affect anything, because it's still, you usually have like a main phase to go for, which that guy does not miss. Or you can replace him with something, like if you're say running the Room of Collapse, maybe, you know. Maybe. And so we got 2 more cards. Demon Stealth Rogue Kazan Myo. Dominate Auto Vanguard GB1. At the beginning of your battle phase, choose all your opponent's rearguards in the front row, stand and dominate them, and each attacks your opponent's rearguard in the back row. That's not bad. And apparently, like, it says you may use its abilities if you pay the cost. Okay. And so, like, if you have something you can do, you can do it. All right. I like it. And if there's, like, on attacks and stuff like that, apparently you can do that too. But it restricts to only attacking your rearguards, which is sad. Auto, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, pay the cost. If you do, look at top 5, reveal 1 card with the Dominate ability, put it into your hand shuffle deck. Yeah, that's generic. That's like, nope, that doesn't have Dominate. That doesn't have Dominate. That doesn't have Dominate. What? None of these have Dominate. Okay. Does this have Dominate? No. Maybe they're in the trial decks. Anyways, Remarkable Stealth Rogue Morishige. Act Vanguard Rearguard. Once per turn, GB1. Choose one of your other rearguards and tap it. Your opponent chooses one of his or her rearguards and it gets plus 3k. If he or she chose, this unit gets plus 10k until end of turn. I don't know if I like the fact you have to tap your own rearguard, but the fact that this will hit like 21k maybe. Yeah. Oh, if he or she chose. Okay. So your opponent has to choose. If they have no rearguards, they don't choose. I'm fine with that. I'm very fine with that, in fact. Yeah, that's alright. The only problem is this rearguard? Is Vanguard rearguard? Yeah, Vanguard rearguard. So yeah, you can make a really cheap deck with these two, except for the fact that nothing else is Dominate except for like this guy in the deck. Hold on, let me check something. No Dominate, no Dominate. There's no Dominate. I don't. Whatever. Black Feathered Witch Stevia. Forerunner. This is Genesis, by the way. Act Rearguard. Counterblast 1. Put this unit into the Soul. If you have a Vanguard with Witch, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck. Put 1 card into Soul, and the rest in the drop zone. Choose one of your units with Witch in the card name, and it gets plus 5k. So this is basically a way to accelerate your Sweet Legion. Get it going faster, because the Legions are pretty sweet with the Witches. Goddess of Headwater, Naki Samwame. Forerunner. Act Rearguard. GB1. Put this unit into the Soul. Choose one of your rearguards, stand it, and if you stood it, you may draw a card. She's alright. She's obviously in there for the Revelation build. But the thing is that the into Soul, when something's Soul Blasted, you get to call it out, is still kind of better, but this ain't bad if you can't get your hands on those. Drip Witch Rosemary. Put this card into your Soul from your drop zone. During your turn, if you have Vanguard with Witch, Soul, charge 1. Choose one of your units with Witch, and it gets plus 2k. So, one of the things about Witch is that it's just a bunch of dumb 5ks, which is really good. Okay, good. Sorry, I was just making sure that it was recording. Which is really good. But the thing is that many times you hit like 19k. She helps you hit more, and she gives you a little soul charge. And it's on Soul Blast 2. So if you Soul Blast like 3 or 4 of them, well, that's plus 8 you can give out. And you recharge your soul for the next round of attacks. Heal Trigger, T-Break Angel. I love this art. Like, it's pretty nice art. I like it a lot. Not as good as Regalia, maybe. Maybe. The thing is that, like, the heal arts for all witches for all the Genesis stuff are fantastic. Lori is fantastic. The Regalia one's fantastic. Goddess of something or other is fantastic. Wraith Witch Sorrel is fantastic. Like, this is just fantastic art. Really blowing me away here. Transport Harry. I can't tell what this is. Is this a trap? Horo, I trapped this guy. Harpy is the thing you have requested is delivered and promised. I don't know. I like that. Act Rearguard. Put this unit to the soul plus 3K. It's a Margot clone. I like it. The only other thing was like a Regalia one that soul charged when it defended, which is not good. So, this is an improvement. Mythgard Markab. All these things are supposed to be okay, I don't have any other ones. Are supposed to be like stars. I don't know what Markab is. I knew like all the other ones so far, but I don't know this one. Auto Rearguard GB1. Choose a card from your hand, discard it. When an attack hits battle, this unit boosted. Pay the cost if you do draw a card. Choose up to one normal unit from your drop zone, put it into your soul. You know what? It's alright. Usually the Mythgard shtick is to require other copies of itself for a grade 2 version and the soul to get abilities, but this is alright. The draw and then put a card from your drop zone into the soul is actually really good, and actually does should see some use in Regalia. I'm not going to use it because I got my own build and I run Brunhilde, but I'm talking like in general. Like if I was running a different Regalia, I would run them. Partially because they're like self-contradictory. Like I've looked at their deck and it's self-contradictory. I don't get it. Like their Regalia stand, it works against itself with the grade 1. Like I don't. It's what is this? Is this Nubatama? I don't understand what the design team was going here. Like what were they smoking when they thought that putting a grade 1 that gives you card advantage against the whatever. Goddess of Transitory Awaname. Revelation. When this unit is placed on a specific circle, in this case rear guards, put the top card of your deck. You may put it into your soul or just keep it there and tap one of. If you do, tap one of. If you put it into the soul, tap a rear guard that stood. Auto GB1. When this unit is put from your soul into your drop zone, pay the cost. If you do, you may. I'm sorry. There's no cost. Display Soul Master. Soul Charge 1 if you have Vanguard with Revelation. Soul Charge 1 again. It's alright. She's alright. I really wish she wasn't GB. But most Revelation stuff is GB anyway. Like, there's all this Revelation stuff. Why can't we have a bunch of Dominate stuff? Ugh. Revelation Rearguard. Auto Rearguard once per turn GB1 when your other Rearguard is tapped. This card gets plus 4K. I do like this card, but it kind of interferes with Fenrir. Then we have Multitask Angel, Revelation Rearguard, Auto GB1, Counterblast 1. This unit is tapped. You may pay the cost if you do Counterblast 1. Stand this unit, and it gets boost, which is okay. I think I like the grade 1 a bit better, and both grade 1s actually, than this guy. But I can see why it might be good. Battle Maiden Sinri, Revelation Rearguard. Auto Rearguard once per turn, GB1. When your other Rearguard is tapped due to the effect of a card, look at top card of the deck. Put it top or bottom. If you put it at the bottom of the deck, this unit gets plus 2K. I do like this skill. I'll probably be running it in my Revelation build if I ever make one. Probably when everything's cheap. Alright, let's move on to Kagero. Because I don't know what's going on here. What's going on? Why am I scared and alone? Rick Steves. Wyvern Kid, Dedida. So these is Forerunner, Auto Rearguard Blaze. At the beginning of each of your attacks, if you have more Rearguards than your opponent, your Vanguard becomes Blazing. 420. Blaze it. Auto Rearguard GB1, retire this unit when your Vanguard becomes Blazing. Pew pew pew! Headshot. You may pay the cost if you do Counter Charge, which is retire this unit. Countercharge, draw a card, choose one of your units plus 3k. I like this card, but I like the one that lets you look at the top 5 a bit better so far. And then we have Dragon Monk Kikira. I don't know what I like about these females doing Dragon Monk stuff. Like it's like gender roles are being reversed everywhere now. Even the monks are female. I mean, I don't know. I don't know whatsoever. I like the Dragon Dancers better. She should have been a Dragon Dancer. Dragon Dancers are our top tier waifu material in Vanguard. You might be like, but Ben, isn't Brunhilde your waifu? Yeah, but you know, you gotta have like a harem of Arabian Nights inspired Dragon Dancer side chicks. Reprint, Sealed Dragon Archpeak into Soul plus 3k. I was actually surprised about this. I for some reason, like, it completely slipped my mind that this was happening. Of all the reprints. Muzzle Flash Dragon, it's a crit. Its art's kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe Blazing Flare? Dragon Dancer Nita. You see, this is how you do it. You got these thighs, these dragonic thighs. You got these breasts. You got these horns. You got this face. You got this tail. You got the fire. Oh, yeah. 420, Blaze it. Auto Rearguard GB1, put this unit in the bottom of the deck. When this attack with your unit Blaze hits the Vanguard, if your Vanguard is blazing, pay the cost if you do countercharge 1. Choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. I'm not too sold on the opponent's rearguard retire it bit, but I can see how that could work for Ziegenberg and others, especially if they're like, yeah, I'll let the first one hit. I don't want to play this game. Because and then like she retires stuff, you countercharge. Basically, she helps make Ziegenberg and other things free. Like she's pretty bae. She's Dragon Dancer beta to me. Bae? I'm just gonna do it. Dragon Dancer bae. There we go. Do people still say bae? Are the kids still saying bae? Voices in my head. Somebody answer me. Even the voices in my head are avoiding me. This is bad. 420 Blaze it. Vanguard Rearguard. Ooh, on Vanguard too. Auto GB1 Catalyst 1. This unit's placed on Rearguard Circle. If the number of your rearguards is less than the opponent, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. That's pretty easy there. Pretty simple. I'm okay with this because it means that you can conserve field until you decide to start going ham with Ziegenberg. Then continuous rearguard GB1 when your Vanguard's blazing. This gets plus 2k. That's whatever. That doesn't mean anything. Like, it would mean something if this wasn't GB1. But it's GB1, so it doesn't mean anything. I like the first skill. Steel Dragon Bird's Eye. Act Rearguard GB1. Put this unit into the Soul. Choose up to 2 of your units. They get plus 3k for each of your opponents. Grade 2 units. So, like, there are ways to hit... I want to say, like fill up their field with grade 2s, like if they don't want to recall over things, and you can punish them for that. Because they're like, oh, grade 2s, I'll use them for intercept. Well, now guess what? You're giving things like plus 12. Dragon Monk Shinsen. See this guy? He's a Dragon Monk. He's got that hair. That fabulous hair. Damn. That hair is fantastic. Just like... Auto Rearguard. GB1, retire this unit at the end of your turn. If your opponent has no rearguards, pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. If you do countercharge, and if the number of rearguards you have is 3 or more, draw a card. No rearguards. He's alright. I don't know whether he'll be in the Blaze deck as much as other decks. I'm high, staring at the ceiling. Dragon Knight Shakur. Auto GB1. When this unit is Counterblast 1. When this unit is placed on rearguard, number of your rearguards is less than the opponent's, so it's like the grade 1. Actually, it's exactly like the grade 1. Pay the cost, choose one of your opponent's rearguards. Retire it. Continuous rearguard GB1 plus 2k. So there's no point in giving cards like these GB1 when it's just like 2k or something like that. But we want to be against us. Or whatever you guys are saying. It's like, I'm not on the design teams or anything like that, but it seems pretty obvious that, giving both the grade 1 and grade 2 same abilities, and then, like, not even let them hit, like, 21k, like, you're just crippling the build. Where like you got Royals here, and you can hit like 26k. Diablo can hit like 26k. You know, it's kind of annoying for me to see these sort of things. Like, they keep something strong. Sure, I dig it, like the flagship for the Vanguard and all that jazz. But come on, you know, give it to everyone else too. Oh man, make it. Seal Dragon Grogain. Continuous rearguard. If you have a Vanguard with Seal Dragon, all your opponent's units in the same column as this unit cannot move. They cannot intercept. So basically, fuck Urgot. Secondly, auto rearguard. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, attacks a Vanguard. If you have Seal Dragon plus 2k until end of battle. You see, it's not even GB1, but Seal Dragons are an early game deck now with rush capacity apparently. So, you know, they know it's a deliberate choice. So that makes it worse, not better. Wyvern Strike, High-Nager. High-Nager? High-Nager? I don't know. Are they going for the German thing? But Germans have hard G's. They're not hard G's, but they got hard G's. You see, it's different. They're not gangsta. Auto Vanguard Rearguard Blaze. 420 Blaze it. Pew, 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 no scope. Headshot. Pow! Continuous Rearguard G. GB1 if your Vanguard is blazing or the number of your opponent's rearguards is 3 or less. This unit gets plus 2k and plus 5k. So, no, it wouldn't count for Dominate. But basically, the reason why it has the 3 or less rearguards is for your opponent's turn. So, like, you want to, like, Denial Griffin something, and then play this guy. Whatever his name is. High-Nager? I don't know. Vanguard Rearguard Blaze. I can't do bong sounds. Auto Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. This unit is placed on Vanguard Rearguard. Pay the cost if you do choose one of your opponent's rearguards in the same column and retire it. That's okay. Then we have Vanguard Rearguard GB1 if your Vanguard's blazing, plus 2k for each of your opponent's open rearguards in the back row. Oh boy, this actually lights my fires, baby. Especially since, you know, like, Kagero early units, like back when we had Kimnara grade 1, Counterblast 1 into Soul Killer grade 1. Yeah, that's back row. It's good shit. This water is also good shit. Seal Dragon Seersucker Suit. I couldn't resist. Seersucker's like a type of fabric or cut a suit or something like that. I don't know. I've never liked the look of them. Auto Counterblast 1 Seal Dragon. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Rearguard, pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's grade 1 or greater rearguards and retire it. Your opponent searches for up to one grade 2 card, calls it to rearguard, shuffles deck. If he or she called a card, you draw a card, countercharge, soul charge. Now, he is a very nice boy. He's great. He does work for you because your opponent has a choice not to minus themselves. And you say, nah, brah. Fuck that shit. You're going to minus yourself today. Continuous Vanguard Rearguard. GB1 during your turn. This unit gets plus 3k for each of your opponent's grade 2 units. And add insult to injury, you can be like, yeah, 17k attacker. Because I can. Boop, boop. Ooh, isn't there... Let me just see here. Hup. And then like something like this, or like this guy. Ooh. Ooh, that starts feeling good. Feels real good. Too good. I'm going to end it with the Dark Regulars for the commons and rares. Pulsar Sentry Draco Kid. Auto Forerunner. Auto Rearguard. Choose one of your grade 3 Gear Colossuses from your hand and reveal it. At the beginning of your ride phase, Gear Colossus. You may pay the cost if you do. Bind the top card of your deck face up. Act Rearguard GB1. Soul Blast 1. Retire this unit. If you have a Gear Colossus, bind the top card of your deck. And if it's a Zodiac Time Beast, draw a card. Yeah, that's too risky, because like if you're running Gear Colossuses, you're generally not running 100% Zodiac Time Beast here. Just hinting. Pulsar Tamer Mara. I like this girl. I like her hat. I like her hat a lot. I like the look of her. I like her action pose. I like her art. It's just really nice. Auto GB1, Counterblast 1. When this unit is placed on rearguard or G, if you have a Gear Colossus or Zodiac Time Beast, all these Gear Colossuses, you may pay the cost. If you do draw a card, choose a card from your hand, bind it face up, and Soul Charge 1. Does anything use Soul Charge? I can't recall anything that really uses Soul Charge. I do like the draw card, though, for a Counterblast. Like, that's the big deal for me. The draw card. A crit trigger. Zodiac Time Beast, Gear Beast. Brass Monkey. The Fickle Monkey. Gear Beast. Zodiac Time Beast. And then Pulsar Tamer Anim. She's no what's her name, but she's pretty good. I like the curls. I like the Mad Scientist vibe. I like the dress. I like the fancy dress. And I like the double eyes things and the little clock and everything else like that. Zodiac Time Beast, Gearoid. Is she like a rabbit? I think she has rabbit ears. Yeah, it looks like rabbit ears. Which is Alice in Wonderland reference. It's not been done to death. Pulsar, Bling Hawk. Bling. Auto, when this unit is placed on G, bind the top card of your deck in face up. If it's a Zodiac Time Beast, choose one of your Gear Colossuses plus 5k. Alright, so, like, there's ways to give your Vanguard, like, 26k. So, like, this is, like, 31k base, 36k base, just for that turn so far, with just, like, 2 cards. That's pretty nice without having to, like, G-Guard. So, you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's playable. And then we got Pulsar Nibble Rat. Auto Bind Zone, GB1, when Counterblast 1, bind the top card of your deck face up. Beginning of the guard step of your battle that your Gear Colossus was attacked, pay the cost. If you do, call this card to G. And then act hand, bind this card face up, choose one of your Zodiac Time Beasts, rearguards, and tap it, draw a card. The second skill is pretty valuable. The first skill is just okay. But basically with like these two in combination, along with the Gear Colossus ability, you know, like you can basically hit 41k, you know, with just 2 cards, without having to use like G-Guards or anything. Pulsar Valve Laser Dragon. Continuous Vanguard Rearguard. If the number of cards in your bind zone is 1 or less, this guy cannot attack a Vanguard. Okay? Which is helpful against Dominate. Act Bind Zone. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Call this card to Rearguard. If you have a Zodiac Time Beast, ZTB, Vanguard, bind the top card of your deck face up. That's not bad at all. And he does work with things like Chrono Fang. Early Chrono Fang. But not too well. Pulsar Rewind Tiger. Auto, those rewinding sounds. Counterblast 1, choose one of your Zodiac Time Beasts, rearguards, and tap it. When this other units, by the way, when this unit is placed on rearguard, pay the cost if you do bind the top card of your deck face up. And if that card's a ZTB, draw a card and this unit gets plus 2k. That's actually not bad at all. Pulsar Replenish Coatl. Auto GB1, when this unit is placed on rearguard from deck, if you have a ZTB Vanguard, this unit gets plus 3k until end of turn. Then if you do not have any face, boost Demagogue, and it gives something plus 3k, which can boost something from like an 18k to a 21k. It's just good. And lastly, for the triggers, Emotional Succubus. Oh, baby. Succubuses. I just like all the heal. I have yet to see a heal trigger that's like, no. Well, maybe the Kagero one. Yeah, the Kagero one's kind of a miss for me. But other than that, like, they're all good. All the heal triggers are great. Just adorable, fantastic. 10 out of 10. Would sell my soul for a succubus girlfriend. And then she's like, haha, see ya, sucker. Oh, I got your soul. It's all I needed. You sold it so cheaply, too. Ammon's Follower, Hateful Cyclone. So we do have some Ammon's Follower cards in here today. And what he does is auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard, Soul Charge 1. If the Soul Charge card is Ammon, you may have this unit get minus 2k till end of turn. If you do, this unit gets plus 5k until end of turn for every 5 cards in the soul. So you always want to do that when you have a decent soul around. Just because like you can hit like 15k boost. That's fantastic. And then you get other cards and abilities that go off. You know, it's It's just it's just a good card. Like there's no downsides to using this card. It doesn't even counterblast. Like it's just really good. And then late next turn, when it's just a 7K, you can suck it into the Soul of Zammon, and then, you know, summon a new one out. It's great. Listing Vampire. Auto, GB1, choose a card from your hand, put it into your soul. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, if you have a Vanguard with Darkness, it's the heart's true essence. You may pay the cost. If you do, choose a normal unit from your hand, soul, and put it into your hand. I do like this because he's basically letting you put in a perf during your opponent's battle step into your hand. Or anything, really. Big Shaker. When this unit is placed, Counterblast 1, when this unit is auto. When it's placed on rearguard, pay the cost. If you do Soul Charge 1, if the number of cards in your soul is 6 or more, until end of turn, this unit gets minus 3k. And then if there's 10 or more, Soul Counter Charge 1, sorry, plus 3k? Why did I read it as minus 3k? 6 or more plus 3k, 10 or more counter charge, and plus 3k. So it's a 15k attacker for a counterblast. And then you get it for free if it's late enough in the game, which you probably will. Sadly, I don't really have any builds I want to run him in. He's good. Like, he's theoretically good on paper, and there's a lot of ways to use him. However, there's just some other good cards that are just better. Ammon's Follower, Adios Thunder. Same thing as a G1, except it's minus 4k, so it's a 5k. Then you Soul Charge, and it gets plus 5k for every 5 cards in deck. And so, you know, it's just good. Like, let's say you have 10 cards in Soul, and then you have him and the other one, Spin Cyclone. You know, that's 30k attacker. You know, attacking column. That's really good. Or, like, you know, let's be realistic. It's probably going to be around 15k cards in Soul. So it's going to be, you know, like a 40k attack, which is better. And that's continuing with the Ammon Terror and all that jazz. So it's just very unguardable. Spread Arson. Auto, Vanguard, Rearguard, Darkness. Nice. I can't do the rocker voice. I need to practice it more. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, Soul Charge 2 if the number of cards in your soul is 10 or more. Choose one of your units plus 5k until end of turn. He's just okay. Like, he's there to accompany Shaharat. Be the wingman. Be the blue-haired guy who tries to, like, end up with a girl or something like that. I don't know. Come on. Earth Elemental Connell. Continuous Rearguard GB1. When this unit would be chosen by any fighter to the effects of your opponent's card, choose units, including this unit, as much as possible. This unit is all clans and all nations. So the funny thing is that if you have multiple dominate abilities, he just like absorbs it. And because he's a plus 5k, it isn't going to hurt you too much. Like, this guy is funny. So, like, retires, they must choose this guy. When it's like, okay, I have to, you know, I have to use this effect to spin something and you find something. Oh, no, you don't attack my rearguard. You attack this motherfucker right here. Whoop, get out of the grade 0. He's good. He's funny. He's not going to see play, but I love him to death. Like, oh, mix him in with a Grand Blue deck. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Mix him in a Grand Blue deck, keep summoning him back. Oh, you're playing Kagero? Whoop! Pow! And you can keep stuff you want to keep alive. Hup. New style, Blaster Lou. We are now in the rare section of the video. If you didn't want to see rares, you can skip. You find the double rares and stuff, and triple rares. But if you're looking for the rares, you found them. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Rearguard, choose a card named Blaster Blade card name from your drop zone, put it on the bottom of the deck. If you do this, unit gets plus 5k. So Royals was kept in check by the fact that you can run out of Blaster Blades, and now he has done away with that. But the problem is that there's kind of nothing else for him. Auto Continuous Rearguard G. If you have a Vanguard with Blaster, Alfred, or Blaster, this unit gets plus 5k and Intercept. That's kind of whatever, though. Fortunately, this ability is Vanguard or Rearguard, but at the same time, if you have to ride him, you're kind of in a bad place. Little Great Sage Marin. He's a little guy, but he's a great sage. G-Guard. Auto, Soul Blast 1 when this unit's placed on G. If you have a Vanguard with Alfred or Blaster, pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for one grade 1 or greater card, call it to G, and it gets plus 5k shield until end of battle. Shuffle your deck. I don't really have any good examples of that on me. He's okay. He's just okay. I like the other one better. Maybe I'd run a combo or something. I don't know. Nubatama. Hey. Still no Dominate, though. Hey. Stealth Dragon Tenrei. Continuous Rearguard GB1. During your turn, all Vanguard with Shiranui gets all of your opponent's Vanguard card name clowns, cards, and races, and nations. So basically, during your turn, like, you know, Lord, it isn't a defense anymore against it. It's not. Like, certain things are, I guess, but well, Lord is against the Vanguard being dominated, but the rest of it, nah. So, like, if your thing is like, if it doesn't have a such and such, it can't attack. Nah. If you need an ability you want to use, here's your guy. This is probably going to end up being a valuable rare here. Auto Rearguard GB1 puts this unit into the soul. Attack hits a Vanguard during battles. Unit attacked or boosted. Pay the cost if you do. Your opponent chooses a card from his or her hand and discards it. And that's just icing on the cake. Just have a column of these. Just whew, 14k to the Vanguard. Oh no. Double hit. Discard 2. I just have 2. Rakudo Stealth Rogue Kureha Lord. Auto Vanguard. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if the number of cards in your hand same as or less than the opponent's, your opponent chooses a card from his or her hand, binds it face down. End of that turn, the opponent puts the card bound by the effects into his or her hand. This is a stride unit. On the attack, same or less than. Hey, you know what? It's just okay. It's just okay. It's a good starter if you don't want to run anything else and you didn't like early guard for Mugen Lord or something. So now we have the Genesis cards. Witch of Fruit of Knowledge, Roibus. Auto, Counterblast 1, Witch with card name. When this unit is placed on G from hand, pay the cost if you do. Call 5 cards from the top of the deck from your hand to Guardian Circle. And then auto, choose a card from your hand, discard it when this unit is put from the soul to the drop zone. If you have a Vanguard with Witch, you may pay the cost if you do. Return this card to hand and soul charge. I do like that skill. However, Quintet Walls are still bad. So yeah, even in Witch Legion decks. Witch of Aster Star. Auto, Counterblast 1. The scene is placed on Vanguard Rearguard. Pay the cost if you do. Soul charge 2. And if you have a Vanguard with grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Witch, choose up to 2 of your other units, and those units in this unit get plus 2k. Again, the plus 2ks are nice so that you can hit that 21k plateau, which will be where you make it. So going. Goddess of Favorable Wind, Ninel. Revelation, Vanguard, Rearguard. I like the fact that it's Vanguard. Auto, Rearguard, GB1. Counterblast 1. When your other Rearguards tap to the effect of your card, if you have Vanguard with Revelation ability, pay the cost if you do. Increase this unit's power by the power of the tapped Rearguard until end of turn. And then you combine it up with those things that restand and gain all kinds of abilities, huh? Yeah, this is what Revelation needed, and she helps a lot. Witch of Pure Star Anise. That's lazy. That hurts me, like, because there's Star Anise, right? Star Anise. Yeah. Legion, Star of Aster, Witch of Aster Star. So it's this one we're gonna not lesbians. Nope. There we go. Countless one, Witch. Card name is put from soul to drop zone. Pay the cost. If you do, call the card to Rearguard. If this unit is in Legion, draw a card. That's nice. It's a good side Legion thing. Auto Vanguard Soul Blast 3. When your unit with Witch and the card name is placed on Rearguard during your turn, that you Legion, pay the cost. If you do, countercharge, soul charge. So basically, you want something else to Soul Blast, and then you run her. Essentially. And there are a couple cards that do that. Do I think it's worth it? I don't know. I think you want 5k is more. Goddess of Twill Tagwoot. Couldn't do like Taproot or something? Auto, when this unit is placed on G, choose one of your rear guards. Choose up to 3 cards, same card name as that unit from your drop zone. Put them into your soul. If you put one or more cards, this unit gets plus 10k. This is slightly better than Iris, but does basically the same thing, except it's restricted to the same card. However, one or more cards is super easy. You're not going to have a problem with it. Let's go Kagero. Oh. The first one is a Sentinel. Auto, Counterblast 1, Seal Dragon. Quintet Wall. Auto, Drop Zone. Choose one of your other Sentinels from your drop zone, put it into the bottom of the deck. When your opponent's grade 2 is placed on rearguard to the effects of your card, pay the cost. If you do, you may return this card to your hand. I like this for the fact that you do not have to spend cards from hand to use his skill. It's got to be in the drop zone. Put another in the drop zone, bottom of the deck. And people are going to be calling their grade 2s. Then we have Dragonite Moonbooty. Alright. Vanguard, Rearguard, NT, Blaze it. Auto Rearguard, GB2, Counterblast 1 when this unit attacks a Vanguard. If you have a Blazing Vanguard with Blade Master in the card name, pay the cost. If you do draw a card, this unit gets plus 2k. For each of your opponent's open Rearguard circles, which can be like 5, so it gets plus 10k. So it's like that one thing, Counterblast, Soul Blast, kill something, and then it gets plus 2k, and then plus 2k for every open Rearguard circle. Same basic thing, except it doesn't get that original plus 2k. However, it's on attack, and you get advantage for it even if you don't get to kill anything. And that's the important thing. Drawing cards is half the battle. The other half is violence. Granite Cross, Seal Dragon, Hell Deity. Hell Deity, Seal Dragon, Granite Cross. Continuous Vanguard, Vanguard. All of your opponent's units cannot intercept. Act, Vanguard, once per turn. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. If you have a heart card with Seal Dragon in its card name, retire all of your opponent's grade 2 rearguards. Then your opponent chooses a grade 2 from his or her hand, and they may call it. If they do not, you may draw a card. Alright, that's okay. It's a good first starter and can really help you sort of get some early advantage, which the Seal Dragons need. And then we have Divine Dragonite Absalom. Auto Counterblast 1 when the unit's placed on G during a battle. Your Vanguard attacked by the opponent's Vanguard. Pay the cost. If you do, this opponent gets plus 10k shield for each of your opponents in the battle for each of your opponents open Vanguard circle, which can be like plus 50k. You know, it's pretty nice. What's up? You guys wanted to say anything? No? Okay. Let's do Gear Chronicle, because we're working our way up to Dark Irregulars, which is my bay this set. Pulsar Transit Dragon. Auto Rearguard, put this unit into the soul, and at the end of battle, this unit boosted. If you have a grade 4 Chrono Jet in the card name, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. This is just okay. I don't know why it needed something like this, but it's the fact that it's after boost can help. And because it's not limited to ZTB, you can work it in with like Gear Groovy, you know, or Next Stage. You know, anything like that. It's pretty great. Then we have a Sentinel Pulsar Tamer Dagon. Another Quintet Wall. Quintet Walls do work in ZTB, by the way. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle during hand, during battle, Gear Colossus was attacked. Pay the cost. You do call top 5 from the top 5. Yeah, whatever. 5 from the top of the deck to G. And if the number of cards from your bind zone is 7 or more, counter charge. Which is pretty nice. And you can get freeze pretty nice. And then all of your other Zodiac Time Beast Guardians, continuous G, get plus 10k shield. Which is something that Quintet Walls probably have needed from the beginning. But he put it in there, so that's okay. Pulsar Revolver Draco Kid. Choose a grade 3 Zodiac Time Beast and reveal it. Search for a grade 3 Zodiac Time Beast, reveal it, put it into your hand. Choose a card from your hand, discard it, shuffle your deck, and when the pay the cost for strides. This is a stride enabler for ZTB. They're finally realizing that you can do it for archetypes and not just grade 3s, specific grade 3s, which I think will free up the game quite a bit and help make certain archetypes that they really wish were better better. However, they didn't do the same for like Seal Dragons or Regalia yet, or anything like that, so Pulsar Tamer Manish. Continuous Rearguard G, GB1. If you have a Zodiac Time Beast Vanguard, this unit gets continuous Rearguard G Resist. Auto Rearguard GB1 when this unit attacks. If you have a unit you may have this unit get +2K until end of battle for each of your other Zodiac Time Beasts. If you do at the end of battle, line this unit face up. The continuous resist is nice, and the +2K for all of your other Zodiac Time Beast units. Real quick, Kitty, is there a ZTB Legion?
No.
Okay. So there's no like ZTB Legion to make this really crazy, because then what you could have done is have like +6 to this, +12, which would have helped her hit 21K, which would have made her like more usable. But the fact that she binds herself and she's a ZTB is at least useful. Let's talk about the best card in the set, commons and rares. Were-Tiger Jaeger. He's simply the best there is. There's not a card I'd say is better than him. Auto Counterblast 1. This unit is put into the soul for the effect or cost of one of your cards during the turn. You may pay the cost if you do draw a card. So you remember what I said about the where are you? This guy. Whoops. This is Gear Chronicle. I'm tired. About this guy, Deranged Singular. Yeah, it works with him. That's the thing. Like, then you Counterblast 1, draw a card. And because you don't use too many Counterblasts and Blade Wing, like, you can just go ham on this guy. It's great. Act, Soul, Darkness. Counterblast 1. Choose a card from your hand, discard it. If the number of cards in your soul is 6 or more, soul charge. And then if the number of cards in your soul is 10 or more, put this card into your hand. Which is just fantastic. And it's not GB or anything. It's great. Continuous Hand. When you're paying the cost for Stride, if the number of cards in your soul with darkness are 2 or more, this unit gets grades +2. So not only is it a Stride enabler, it lets you draw a card, and if it's in your soul, you can counterblast and discard a card from hand to get it back in. So if you've got like something dead and you know that you can kill them if you just play this card somehow, hey, he's got you. This makes Blade Wings run like a smoothly oiled engine. It's great. He is a great card.
That's boring.
What?
Smooth engines are boring.
Yeah, except I've got plenty of engines that don't run smooth and need a little kick to keep them going. I need like 2 or 3 that are like smooth running.
Yeah, smooth running's boring. You don't want consistency. That's not what
I
this game's
want to
about.
win games on occasion, Hanson. Kitty.
Hanson, Kitty,
Yeah,
Jacob.
yeah, whatever. I'll eventually get there, and you know what? Your like little social security number. No. Ammon's Valuation Boufstare. Boufstare. I like the art. I don't really care for the Ammon Quintet wall though. Especially since in Ammon you don't really get those cards back, but whatever. Auto Counterblast an Ammon when the card is placed on G from hand, pay the cost if you do call 5 from the top of the G. And by the way, before someone says, yeah, but you're supposed to kill him beforehand, you know how much defense it is? Like I just got a card that's like, where is it? Plus 10k for every open rearguard circle. Oh boy. That's pretty K, you know, it's all kinds of stuff here, you know, it's the guard's not gonna be guard's not a problem like it used to be. Act Soul. Once per turn, Counterblast 1. If the number of cards in your soul is 15 or more, choose 3 of your normal units and regular units with Ammon and card names from your soul. 3 of your other. If you choose 6 cards in total, return those cards to the deck, shuffle your deck, and countercharge 1, soul charge 1. So you're like, oh, Ben, well, what about this? It pays for itself. Yeah, you're right. You're right, it does, but it's still 2 counterblasts for the full ability. And I don't like it. There. Brennan Vampire. Auto Rearguard GB1 Darkness. Counterblast 1. This unit attacks of Vanguard if you have Charrot. You may pay the cost if you do this unit gets plus 1k for every card in Soul, and then put this unit into your Soul draw card. He's a great card. There's no real problems with him. Nothing really special. He's just great. And now we have something that's really special. Covetous Succubus. Oh baby, this has been a real set for succubuses. Succubi, even. Auto GB1 Darkness. Cannablast 1. When this unit is placed on rearguard, you may pay the cost if you do Soul Charge 1. If the number of cards in your soul is 6 or more, countercharge. If it's 10 or more, draw 2 cards, choose a card from your hand, discard it. I don't like the fact that you have to discard a card from hand, but at the same time, it does mill out cards that you don't need, or have run out of Counterblast for or something. The fact that she does it at 6 is great. Slightly better than Flying Librarian, but I still like the fact that Flying Librarian soul charges 2 for Counterblasts, for 1 Counterblast, and lets you draw 1 without discarding. I'll be running a mix, but favoring Flying Librarian just because of that extra soul charge. Amon's Eye Agares. Now he's really good. Auto Vanguard. When this unit is placed on Vanguard at the beginning of your ride, or at the beginning of your ride phase, choose up to 2 of your units with Amon, and they get plus 1k until end of turn for each card in your soul, which is pretty good. Now I just want to make sure here, it's locked into the amount that's in your soul when this goes off, right?
Yes.
So in other words, it's not like a demagogue turn, where like you can just keep pumping it up during the main phase.
Nope.
But if you have like 20 cards in soul, 10 cards in soul even, you know, that's really pumped up rearguards, especially since the 12k attackers and other cards that gain a little bit of bonus from it are still relevant in Amon. And then Auto Vanguard, Counterblast 1, we use G unit with Amon, its original card name Strides. Pay the cost if you do Soul Charge the same number of times as the number of cards in your soul. Double your soul, but be careful you don't deck out, because once you start the ability, you have to finish it, and even if it kills you. But the first ability alone is worth playing this card, especially in Amon. I'll just do this. So I don't actually know why people play this too much. Sorrowful Slice, Lugeris, act Vanguard once per turn, in Blade Wings, by the way. Counterblast 1, choose a face down card in your G zone, turn it face up. Soul Blast 3. Soul Charge 3, excuse me. For each of your different grades among the Soul Charge, choose one of your rearguards plus 5k. And if it's a card with Darkness, Soul Charge by the effect, choose one grade 3 from your soul, put into your hand. So, I like, and my trip hop isn't that I don't know what the ability is. It's that I don't know why they want to focus on this ability rather than, and just in Blade Wings. Like I see this in Blade Wings, like as opposed to just going into Demagogue. Maybe they like to do this later on in the game or something. I don't know, but like I figure it's kind of a waste of space. But there's Demagogue.
True, but most Blade Wing builds don't get a massive amount of soul real quick.
Yeah, they do it in one turn.
Okay. But this is for the other build that does it up to grade 3. Where it's soul charge, first turn soul charge, second turn soul charge. You get the numbers.
Okay. So in other words, it's more like a ragey build.
It's a ragey build, so you can get that. So you can get the.
You know what? That explains it. Because I was looking at it, I'm like, I dig this ability. Like, I'm gonna play this in Charrot, but it's like, why? I didn't understand the slot. Now I understand it.
Yeah. So
it's a different philosophy of Blade Wing than what I was playing.
The key thing is it works with Sullivan too. You just ride it, take Sullivan out next turn. You ride Sullivan, throw copies into the soul.
So you rewrite Sullivan?
You rewrite the Vanguard. So that you can get more soul, because you just...
I dig it. I still don't like it in the Sullivan build.
Like the Sullivan build?
Yeah, I play the Sullivan build. And it's like, there's no reason with Were Tiger Jaeger and everything else just to go straight for Sullivan. Thank you. So now we have Cryptid Knowledge Sabnak, which I think is just fantastic art. Auto, Counterblast 1, this unit is placed on G during the battle. Your opponent's Vanguard was attacked. If the number of cards in your soul is 10 or more, pay the cost. If you do, this unit gets plus 5k shield, and choose one of your Vanguard, and it gets plus 5k until end of turn. I'm going to play this as a one-of. It's pretty good in just about all builds. And the fact that you could do it when your thing's at 10 soul is just fantastic. It doesn't soul charge or anything like that. It doesn't give resist. But that plus 5k until end of turn can do a lot of help for you, especially, if there's other rearguard attacks after your opponent's Vanguard attack, which is the clicker. Alright, that's everything for the commons and rares. I'm going to get the double rares and triple rares like right now, apparently. Thank you.
And it'll be in a separate video.
Right. So, we're continuing on our quest of something to be the best of Vanguard cards. And I'm just looking through it real quick, just making sure it's in some vague order. And we're going to start with Royals, end with Royals, just as I promised. All those years ago. It's been a long journey, guys. Long journey. Maiden of Divine Spring, Lien, Sentinel. Auto, Soul Blast 1. This is placed on G from hand. Pay the cost if you choose one of your grade 3 units with Alpha or Blaster, and it cannot be hit until end of turn. I don't know why they made this card and then made it so cheap. Like, sure, it prevents like one stride from working, but other than that, it's just basically a Soul Blast 1 Perfect Shield. It's nasty in a way. Nasty boy. Goddess of Fort, Bitsuhime. I do like this card. I love this card's art. She looks so nice. Sentinel Revelation from the Guardian Circle. Yes, right. You can check the top card of the deck and leave it there or soul charge it. If it's a heal, don't soul charge it. Unless there's circumstances. There are circumstances where you would. But, meh. Choose a card from your hand, discard it when this unit is placed on G, Perfect Shield. And by the way, it's units, it may guard rear guards. When this unit is retired from G, if you have a Goddess of Fort, Kibitsuhime, and the Soul Charge 2. I like that skill. It's a good skill. She's good. She's great. Dark Wolf that hunts deities, Fenrir. Oh man, this guy's now a $1 double rare. What a damn shame for him. Auto, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 3 when this unit is placed on Vanguard or Rearguard. Pay the cost if you do top 3. Put 1 soul into hand, 1 card into the soul, and the other one top or bottom of the deck. And then if you have a face-up card with G-Zone with Fenrir, countercharge 1. I do think he's okay. The problem is that he doesn't have Revelation. If he had Revelation, he'd be pretty good. And you might be like, Revelation. It's like, no, he needs Revelation to be good. Witch Queen of Congratulation, Nasturtium. Act Vanguard once per turn. Counterblast 1 if you have a hard card with Witch. Choose 2 of your units with Witch and they get plus 5k. And then Auto Rearguard when this unit attacks. Soul Charge 1 if you have 2 or more hard cards. This unit has plus 10k and a crit. In Witches, there's no reason not to Legion before you stride unless you're really behind in the cards. The Soul Charge 1 when it attacks is pretty good for each of those things. You do run stands in a Witch build, so you can get multiple attacks off, and the plus 10k crit is just nice. Then we have Flare Trooper Dumjid. He's a Perfect Shield, and then he has Blaze. And then Continuous G. GB1 if you have a Flare Trooper Dumjid in the drop zone. This unit gets plus 15k shield. So is a 15k shield if you don't have any cards in hand. Like, he is one of the most versatile perfs in the game, and I don't think he'll ever be appreciated because nobody will probably want to run him over the G perfs or the that one chick who works with Sullivan and the perfs that work with Overlord. Stealth Dragon Utsuroi. Sentinel, Perfect Shield. Again, all these Perfect Shields so far have been... Yeah, so far all of the things have been just units in general. So, you know, again, you can guard rear guards. Auto, drop zone. Choose one of the other Stealth Dragon Utsurois from the drop zone, put it at the bottom of the deck, and then a dominated unit attack hits a Vanguard during your turn, pay the cost if you do return this card to hand. The restriction's a little bit harsh, but at the same time, it's probably not going to be a problem early game, so just guard to your heart's content. Stealth Dragon Furai, 9k, act rearguard once per turn, a little bit of something on there. GB1, Soul Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, choose a card from your opponent's drop zone, and your opponent calls that card to open rearguard, end of turn, retire that unit. So basically it gives you a free domination unit. And then auto rearguard GB1 when your other unit attacks during your turn. If you have a Vanguard with Shira Nui, this unit gets +2 control on the turn. Yeah, that's multiple times. So what you want to do is you want to kind of build up to him. So like you want to do a bunch of dominated units, you want to use him, and then you want to, attack with him like last. Or if you run stand triggers and are pretty sure with the stand trigger, attack with the stand trigger in mind. He's a pretty good card though. Emma Stealth Dragon Magun Tenbu. Dominate, act, Vanguard, once per turn. Counterblast 1, choose a face down card, same card name as this, turn it face up. Choose one of your opponent's rearguards and it gets +3k for each face up card in the G zone. Dominate that unit. Attack your opponent's other unit and at the end of battle retire the dominated unit. You may use its abilities if you pay the cost. So, like, let's say you're fighting Kagero and you get one of the Blaze It cards and you have more rearguards because you're playing Dominate. Like, you can have 6 rearguards or, like, 10 rearguards at a time if you play your cards right. Actually, hold on. Hey, Kitty. Yeah. Mugen Lord. It can do, like, 5 dominations at once, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, you can have a full 10 rearguards running around. If you attack a Kagero unit...
That's Magun Tenbu, though.
I know, I'm talking in general, theory crafting.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're playing Blaze It, against Blaze goes off.
Yeah.
Every ability that can go off goes off if you pay the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I'm just trying to say that, like, this stuff and Furai are, like, pretty deadly combinations.
Yeah, no, Furai is pretty much the key to any Dominate build.
Yep. Like, against Dominate, I consider it a high target. Furai must die. Not even because it has the Dominate skill. The Dominate skill will be bad enough.
You're ruining every Dominate player's life right now.
What?
Because people currently will always target Genkai.
Why?
Because they don't want you to have that draw power. They really think it's screwing them over.
No, but like this
But that's so much better.
Yeah, like okay. You have 5 rearguards. You get 5 attacks off, and then you attack with him to use 21k without a booster.
No, you attack with him last, no matter what.
Yeah, I'm saying like that. I'm saying like after all your attacks.
Yeah, after everything you attack with him, and he's like 30k by himself. Yeah.
Yeah, like this is a card that's like. This is going to be a prime target. It should be the prime target, but like I said, you're ruining everybody's life right now because you're telling them, don't go after the Genkai. Genkai's shit. Which one's Genkai?
It's the Trial Deck one that's...
okay. I haven't done the Trial Deck yet.
Yeah, because in set 12, there's a card that literally is better than Genkai.
Oh, okay.
That would replace the Genkai. So.
Well, the thing is like, with this build, like, if you run enough aggression, you don't need the draw. The reason why Blade Wing is good is because it doesn't have a lot of draw, but then all of a sudden after you do all your attacks and you blow your load and all that jazz, and you're sitting at like 20k.
Dominated.
Let's be real. This is a very sexually charged set.
Yeah, I can't blame you because during the stand-up series I'm running it and I'm just calling it Ninja Sex Party.
Deal with it. Oh wait, wrong one. So yeah, basically. This is a good card, but it's not good for itself. It's good for everything else around it.
Yeah. Still 4 of, though.
Oh, yeah. Like 4 of Mugen Lord, 4 of Magun Tenbu, and then maybe one of the GR that's coming in set 12, one of the...
I would say I'm trying to work in 2 from set 12.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sure that's not too much soul?
No, because half your triggers go into your soul anyway.
Oh, that's true. I keep forgetting that. Either way, let's talk about the G-Guard, Gehorikan. Dominate, auto, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. This is placed on G, pay the cost if you choose one of your opponent's grade 1 rearguards in the back row, dominate it, and move it to your Guardian circle. It considers itself your Guardian. So there's like 2 or 3 Link Joker cards I'm thinking of right now. There's some Kagero cards, there's some Aquaforce cards, there's some Grand Blue cards, OTT, Genesis cards. You just do it and it gets plus 10k.
The biggest thing you're forgetting that this thing fucks over, Gold Paladins.
You're
right.
Forgetting
that
Get that perfect shield. Get the perfect shield over here.
No.
Yeah, you're right. And because you're already drawing so much because we're attacking the Furai and not the Genriken.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is a good card. It's probably the G-Guard of choice. You're running 4-3?
3. And
then one of the new ones?
No, you're right.
Sorry, the
3 of him,
GB ones?
One of the on flippers.
Ah, yes.
And then one of the original Fighter Collection dudes.
I dig it. That's a good choice. Then we have Closet Balloon. Sadly, like, Succubus of Avarice was so good, this guy's not going to see much play. Choose a card from your hand, discard it. It's a perfect shield. If you have a Closet Balloon in your soul, and the number of cards in your soul is 10 or more, draw a card. Which is a really good ability. But it doesn't see play because Succubus of Avarice can jump into your hand for killing one of your useless grade 1 cards.
That's why they came out Ballistic Vampire for him. Because he goes
Ballistic
into your
was
soul. He's a common or rare.
Yeah.
And then you can put a card from your soul, hand into the soul, and get something out.
You know what? You're right. This does work with Ballistic Vampire. I was thinking about Perfect Shields with this thing. But with Ballistic Vampire especially, we can get a lot more use out of them before. Because then you can soul charge them pretty big, use the one in your hand that was occurred naturally to draw off of it, and then you can use Ballistic Vampire to bring this guy back out. Continuous Regard GB1 Darkness. If the number of cards in your soul is 61 plus 2k, who cares? However...
Yeah, I've never seen anybody actually utilize that +2.
I mean, he would work with him. However, his GB1 like restricts it. There's a lot of cards in here that would be better if they had no GB1 on it. Just because, like sure, it hits 20k. Only 20k, but at the same time, you can't early game rush with it, which is like, yeah, we don't want early game rush. But the problem is that, guess what? That's what the meta's going to, kind of. Mm-hmm. So, like, either you're rushing when you stride, or you're rushing when you're doing it early, or you're waiting until your Spike Brothers hitting GB8 stride 2, and, just wrecking people's parties. Mm-hmm. Ammon's Red Eye Fornius. Act Vanguard once per turn. Counter last one. Choose one of your rearguards, put into your soul. Your opponent chooses one of his or her rearguards, retires it. And this unit gets plus 5k until end of turn for every 5 cards in your soul. Good ability. If the number of cards in your soul is 20 or more, choose 2 of your opponent's rearguards, retire them. Great ability. And if you have a hard card with Ammon, this gets a crit. That's okay. The fact that you retire 2 is fantastic.
Retire 3.
Retire 3? No.
The first skill, retire 1. And then if you have 20...
Yes.
Retire 2 more. 3 in total.
3 in total.
Which is easy to hit with Amon and Bladewing.
Oh,
the only thing in Bladewing is you're not getting that crit.
Yeah. And honestly, you don't need the crit for this build. Like, I'm starting to look at crits and kind of viewing them like icing on the cake. I don't really eat cake for the icing.
You're gross. Get out of here.
What?
That's the best part.
Yeah, icing's the best part of the cake.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, otherwise it might as well just be bread.
It's sweet
really
bread.
Sweet bread.
Usually with fruit in it.
What? What kind of cakes are you eating?
Boston cream pies.
They have icing in the middle.
Wait,
Yeah.
that's a pie.
No,
It's
Boston cream pie is not a pie.
Yeah.
It's called that, but it's not a pie.
Yeah.
It's chocolate icing over 2 yellow cakes with a bit of custard in the middle. Custard's not icing.
Yeah, I forgot it's custard.
Yeah.
Well, it's chocolate
Don't
icing.
fuck with my cake knowledge, you two.
Because I would argue with Ben that it says pie in the name, but pizza's a pie. And
Yeah,
it
exactly.
doesn't say pie anywhere.
Right, it's an open-faced pie. It's like blood pie. It doesn't have a topping. Why? Pulsar Crooning Dragon. Continuous Rearguard, GB1. When during your turn, if you have a Vanguard with Chrono Jet, this unit gets plus 2k, which is alright. And Auto, Rearguard, Counter last 1. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, pay the cost if you do look at 3 cards from the top of the deck. Reveal up to 1 Zodiac Time Beast from among them. Put it into your hand. Put the rest of the bottom of the deck in any order. I don't know if I like it into the hand rather than the bind zone, but I don't really run ZTB.
Chrono Jet doesn't benefit off the bind zone at all.
All right, you're right. It's stride zone, but still, like, there's a bunch of ZTB cards that go straight to the bind zone.
Yeah, those work in Fang. That's why there's so many Zodiac Time Beast cards now, as opposed to 12 Zodiacs.
That's true. Pulsar Drastic Colossus. It's a Gear Colossus and a Zodiac Time Beast. Exactly what they needed. Like, holy shit, guys. Auto, choose a card from your hand, discard it when this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, pay the cost if you do reveal 3 cards. Choose up to 2 Gear Colossus or Zodiac Time Beasts from among them. Put 1 card from among them into your hand, bind 1 card, and put the rest in your drop zone. You know what? That's alright. I like the fact that you bind it. Auto, Vanguard, and it's a Gear Colossus with abilities that work with ZTB. And ZTB works with them. When your unit strides, you may draw a card. If you do, choose a card from your hand, bind it face up, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets plus 1k for every card in your bind zone. That's okay. But it does make Demiurge better.
Demiurge, yeah.
Yeah.
The big key about that is that You mostly is that your this big role in your Zodiac Time Beast deck is for the new starter Century
Yep.
Draco Kid. You reveal them, find one card from top.
Yep. The only thing is that like ZTBs, but then again, this is like the only Gear Colossus you need to run anymore. So
It's the only one you should be running anymore.
I do like the defensive one. But the problem is that like it does like the fact that it's not ZTB or ZTB compliant really doesn't help.
Yeah.
Divine Knight of Valor Halbwax. I think this is kind of a way to get people to like forget about Gancelot or something like that, but it just doesn't work because Gancelot's too good. Like I keep forgetting this guy exists because I'm so focused on Gancelot existing. Vanguard, act, once per turn, Cannabis 1, Soul Blast 1, choose a face-down card, same card name, turn it face up. Search your deck for one card with Brave ability for each face-up card with the Brave ability in your G-Zone. By the way, he doesn't have Brave.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, yes, he does. Oh, good. That second ability. This is why I have you, Kitty.
I was say that's the only reason why we run him because he has Brave.
Right. No, I'm just fucking around. I swear. I swear. You know. So search your deck for up to one card with Brave for every Brave face up in your G zone. Brave. Like, let's say, I know that Clotenus has Brave as well, and Fides.
Clitoris has Brave.
Clotenus.
They calling it that.
No, Fides doesn't technically have Brave, unless it's because it's so. Do it. Yeah, it works well with. Actually, yeah, this would work well with Clotenus. I will say that. And it would call them to separate rearguards. This unit gets plus 2k for each unit called. That's whatever. And then Act Vanguard Brave Cannon Blast 1. This unit gets plus 5k. Again, that's whatever. Unless you know for sure what's in the hand, and then that you can overcome it by. You should never really use this ability. This second ability right there. Cannon Blast 1 plus 5k.
This is the thing is if Aerial Divine Knight Alt Mile wasn't a thing,
Yeah.
he would be amazing for Stride.
Oh yeah.
The problem is that I don't know any Royal deck that doesn't run Aerial Divine Knight Alt Mile.
I mean, I'm running Alfred, and I run 2 Aerial Divine Knight All Miles. You know, it's
The problem is everything has a better first Stride than that.
Yep. And I think the thing is that we're getting so late in the game. We need to start thinking about like GB5. Isn't there like a GB5 card coming up or something? GB4. There's a GB4.
There's GB4,
And I think we need to start working towards that to create a stride.
but you gotta remember that's
thing.
still a second Stride for most decks.
Yeah, that's true. Prime Beauty Amaruta. What's up, man?
Best card in the
Honor-
set.
Yeah.
Prettiest card in the set.
Okay. You're right about...
Yeah.
Hanson.
Damn, I forgot about her.
I think there are still some other contenders, but
Yeah, well, no, there are. Like, the, first off, like, let's be real here. She's, like, my second place right now. Like, just
No,
the...
she's too cute. I mean, she's beautiful.
Alright, she is what I would call a classic beauty in the Japanese style.
Yeah.
and amazing.
However-
I get that.
The things I would do for that would make angels weep tears.
I don't know, man.
I'm pretty sure those angel
probably
fellas already
like
weep
6.
tears looking at you.
They do. they make no secret about it. So, Vanguard Rebel, and that's kind of blasphemous. That's mean to the angels. I shouldn't say stuff like that.
Yeah.
Revelation, Vanguard, Rearguard. Demon's Cheer, is that better? Go, guy, go!
Get that meat.
Continuous Vanguard. You may pay Soul Blast 3 Revelations for the cost of Stride. By the way, I still haven't figured it out, but for some reason, paying anything else to Stride is really good. And it affects the decks in ways that, like, I'm not really sure how to chart out yet. For the simple reason that you don't have to pay cards from hand, and you're guaranteed it switches up deck chemistry beyond those that draw enough so that you can Stride at minimal cost. I think it's quite interesting. What's up?
So, here's an idea. Here's some concept for you. She bought Soul Blast is 3 Revelate cards.
Yes.
Most of the deck now.
Yes.
Goes in the drop zone.
Yes.
Genesis has a Dreaming Dragon.
Yes.
Doesn't hurt it whatsoever.
Exactly.
You also have a generic
Okay.
that tosses it back into the sword.
Yep.
And
Huh.
But
secondary that as well.
that Alter Dragons you counterblast and find a card from your hand.
So.
You're still striding from hand.
Right, but the bind
So-
card can go straight to a demo urchin.
Yeah, I mean,
and
it's
get you as
good.
well. Like the thing is that I'm not talking about I'm talking about her, Luard, Turua, and I think there's another one, but I forget what.
It's more of a utility factor.
Yeah, it's a utility factor, but like the thing is that I was looking at it and I'm like, Luard isn't just explained by the fact that it has decent rear guards, and its rear guards are actually like just a bit above the middle of the road, except for Morfessa, who's excellent.
Yeah.
So like I'm thinking that there's some mechanic in place that I haven't really caught on to yet that the free striding really works off of better. It makes everything more streamlined compared to before. I kind of hope all decks have a generic card that they could play that is a free strider, especially Mega Colony, because then it's just laughter all day.
Your opponent's none of your opponent's rear guards
You can-
stood last turn, stride for free. Then
It's like, and then it's all of a sudden Cyclomaduth is the meta. There's only Cyclomaduth. Otto, by the way, did you guys see the deleter that prevents striding on hit?
yeah,
And
I-
we're not going to get anything else with that effect because that's how Bushiro works.
Yep, but who cares? That's
it's an
still like
11K attacker.
yeah,
it's an 11K
that's
attacker, so it's
15k
zero.
guard on your like. Well, they're at grade 2 and you're on grade 3 or whatever, and it's like or
counterblast
just-
one first for the 11K, then. if they
well, that
have
doesn't
deleted-
matter. That's still like 2
Well,
cards
no,
from
it
hand.
I
does because
think-
you got to remember. Then they know it's coming.
Doesn't matter.
Where as opposed they are
I feel
just
like
like
the-
11.
Well, like, here's what you do. You do that on this side. You're gray. You attack. You attack with this one first. See if you hit. Then you attack with gray. Maybe get a sand trigger put on here, and then you attack with given.
That's my point. Is the problem with
I
counterblast
just think it should've
get a
printed
skill.
it.
They know it's coming.
Right.
As
But
opposed
that-
to
if
it's an option of hit, then I can pay for the skill.
right.
No,
But the
it's
thing is that
totally
you
okay.
there's no way in hell you would not pay that skill, that cost.
I'm just saying it would have been nice to have, a generic 11K attacker along with the
You
counterblast
already have
one to do that.
we already have 10k base and 12k attackers for the leaders.
Yeah,
That 12k attacker works with all the leaders,
yeah.
but you run given because it's funny as shit.
Yeah.
I just reflected on
if I
that.
if I kept my link up joker stuff, I would be like, yeah, I'm gonna play the leaders.
Yeah, I've
Just
got
too
both
bad
the
he
leader
works
decks that you
expensive.
can build right now.
Yeah.
Auto Vanguard Counterblast 1. When your unit strides, pay the cost. If you do, Soul Charge 2. If a card with Revelation with Soul Charge, draw a card and choose choose up to 2 of your units, get plus 4k. So, since most of your grade 1s and 2s and 3s are going to have Revelation, you're pretty much guaranteed that, and the plus 4ks going around are so nice, especially since you're already giving things like plus 1k or plus 3k or plus 2k or whatever per Soul Charge, like that 1 grade 2.
Honestly, I think it's the
And
only one that
Ishtar's
doesn't
a problem.
anymore in your deck. That should be in the deck.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Ishtar's a problem.
Ishtar's the
yeah,
problem.
and the plus
Yeah.
4ks are nice. Actually, let's move on to Ishtar, because let's be real, this card's not doing anything else with it. Ishtar, Goddess of Investigation, Revelation Vanguard, which is pretty beef at this point in time. Auto Vanguard Soul Blast 3. Choose a face-down card from your G-Zone, turn it face up. When a grade 1 or greater card is revealed during your drive checks, pay the cost. If you do, choose up to the same number of your units as the same number of face-up Goddess of Investigations Ishtar from the G-Zone, and until end of turn they get plus 3k, and if the card was revealed, has Revelation, sand those rear guards. So, all your grade 1s through 3s are going to be Revelation or close to it, and then you have the fact that you can give plus 3Ks out, and you don't have to flip over Ishtar. What you probably want to do is flip over, like, let's say you do crits, grade 2, or something like that. Just do, like, the 2 Ishtars, so you have 3 Ishtars face up. Shit. Could you get that for me?
By the way, that's my candidate for most beautiful card and stuff.
Oof. I don't know.
You see, the problem is you can't really make much detail out on the card.
I love her art.
You see, her art's pretty ornate, but the problem is it doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah,
Like, there's like
like in the anime, I could probably see it.
Like, so, like, let's just compare, like, these 3, because it's like, hold on a second, because it's like a varying degrees of get back over here. Come on. You started this fire. You got to see it to the end.
He didn't start the fire; he just kept it burning.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just tossed a few cans. Yeah.
All right, so let's bring out probably
Oh, boy.
the 4, 5 or so. I'm just gonna keep playing things.
Don't forget the Jump Jeed. It's a woman.
Not a Wayne.
Sexist
All right.
bastards.
So
Hashtag feminism.
get the fuck out. All right, so let's talk about beauty here. This is obviously sexy, but to me, this is more beautiful. But these are like classic beauties that you would see like in sculpture or something like that.
I don't know.
The problem with her-
last chick I met in the lake who gave me a sword really screwed me over.
Yeah, well, that's because you slept with a witch and then let your bastard son rule part of your kingdom. You deserve what you got.
You're not wrong.
You played this Arthurian bullshit with me.
Same. Don't worry, I did it, dude. We both got swords.
Look, well, let's be real here. At Lake St. Louis, there's some bitch who's giving out swords, and it causes problems. And weirdly, it's not because of the sword itself. It's about everything else that comes because you now have a sword and believe yourself king of England.
I mean, all those problems can be solved by having said sword.
Yeah, but like people are kind of pussies this generation, and they don't want to stab as many people as they used to do. Let's be real. Arthur won his kingdom because he was willing to stab the most people and then shake their hands afterwards.
Shake
that
dead
how
people's
violence
hands? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess.
Basically, like, so many of his knights basically got their asses kicked by him, or he got his ass kicked and then he made friends with him. Like, that's the story of Lancelot, Gawain, and a
I mean,
few
he's
others.
not wrong. I don't think that's how it works. You stab someone and then how you doing, man? Yeah.
Hey, man, you do know this.
You want to crack on a cold one?
All right.
Oh man,
So,
I need to go to the hospital, but after that,
I'm gonna go see the leech. I'm gonna go see the leeches, and then I'll be back. I understand that leeches are great for sword wounds.
Yeah.
But no, like, I dig what you're saying, but to me, she's too ornate and too exaggerated. And like the succubus, sure, she's exaggerated, but it's it's more believable because she's already a succubus, you know?
So,
Okay.
problem is, one's a demon and has to trick you. This one's a goddess, and you're probably just not going to hit it anyway.
So, what's your income? I make minimum wage and whatever. Sorry, man. Oh, I'm sorry, man.
See, you hurt him. You hurt him deep, Ben.
I know.
I'll shake his hand since you stabbed him.
Wait, where was I hurt, though?
The sword of my wit.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
All right. Anyway, that's all for Ishtar. Like, there's not much to say about Ishtar. She works and she does her thing. Maybe keep yourself at like 3 Ishtars and then like do the 4th one for a second stride. But remember, if you burn out your triggers, your strides, like I've calculated it out, and there's no real cards. Like Amaruta does not really give you the same level of card advantage at all that you can once you run out of strides. Like and this is true. Like the only really cards that really work once you run out of strides are Infinite Legions and Brunhilde. And Brunhilde's just because she has that Counterblast 4, Soul Blast 6 draw that you can use. Shut up. Shut up. That you can use to unflip damage thanks to Ordain Henry or whatever his name is. Basically, it puts cards that you Soul Blast in the bottom of the deck, which include like a Dreaming Dragon. You Soul Blast 3 and you have 3 Henrys. You put Dreaming Dragon and then 2 other whatevers so that you can do it.
Boring, but effective.
I know, right?
Oh, I was talking about Cohen.
Oh yeah, no, he is also boring but effective. Yeah,
I like Cohen's sword, though.
it's a flaming scimitar. It is pretty cool. Auto Vanguard Rearguard Blaze, 420 bong sounds. Headshot, no scope. Oh baby, killing
Yeah, we're
spree. All right, there we go. I got rid of them. Auto Vanguard, Counterblast 1. When your G-unit strides, pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, retire it. Choose one of your units with Blaze, and it gets plus 3k until end of turn. That's just okay. It works. It still kills only one thing, but it does give Blaze power, which can help them hit like 26k in certain situations. But most of it is just going to hit 25k. Like it's okay. Plus 3k is okay in the Blaze thing. It'll hit you above 20. Auto Vanguard GB2. At the end of turn, if your opponent has no rearguard, choose one grade 3 with Blaze from the drop zone, return to hand. Again, this is worthwhile. Like they finally realized that you don't need abilities on your grade 3s that happen during your attack step when you stride over them naturally. I do think that this guy does work pretty well with original Blade Master.
No.
No?
No, his GB2 just doesn't work with other Blade Master because it's not a Blaze.
Yeah, but you use it for himself.
But take away that skill, he's just old Blade Master with
Plus
no
the
extra
crit.
crit on grade 3
I
attack.
think that having a few old Blade Masters, but adding in a few tech cards with the new Blaze.
Yeah,
unit,
so-
Like, I think that the thing about Blade Master
if you
was, it was
I'll run
guaranteed kill,
4,
and if you
3,
need to ride
then
him,
tech of 1 Blaze.
and you
grade
get to
3.
GB2 somehow, it works. And by the way, you can hit GB2 pretty easily by just the fact that you've guarded
I say that,
twice.
but I'm about to do a deck profile of double Blade Master.
Flare Arms, Zygenberg. Do you even lift, bro?
Do you even stand, bro?
Do you even stand, bro? Look at these things. Look at this. Look at this upper arm body strength and all that bullshit. I don't know.
They made an Overlord. That's not an Overlord. So you're an Overlord while you Overlord.
Exactly.
You
He
even
gets
Overlord, bro? No, I Ziegenberg.
it. Auto Vanguard Blaze. Axe Vanguard once per turn. Soul Blast 1. Choose a face down copy. Sorry, face down copy from your face up. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. So you kill 2 rear guards guaranteed. Guess what? Sometimes people are starting to like play less rear guards. Punish them for it.
Okay, that's awesome.
So
No,
you're
play
at
more rear guards. Let me take them.
exactly, or that punish them either way. Punish them for whatever they do. It doesn't matter what they do. Even if they made it perfect on time, the dinner, like when you came in the house, the roast is still dry, so you still slap them. So Auto Vanguard
That's
once per
Higuera.
turn.
That's all New Higuera is. You played some rear guards, they're dead. You didn't play rear guards, they're plus.
Yeah. Once per turn, GB3, Cannon Blast 1. Soul, choose the same number of cards in your hand, the same number of your opponent's rear guards, and discard them. At the end of the battle,
That's
this
my
unit
favorite
attacked.
thing, though.
If this unit is blazing, pay the cost. If you do, stay in this unit, drive plus 2. Minus 2.
Root flare.
So, you guys remember this thing? Never is it better to be a unit with resist. Guess what? A lot of the decks I play have resist units in it for no reason. Apparently, they have a reason now. Like,
no, because we still have a root flare.
Double full column.
right, but this isn't Root Flare, though. That's the thing.
He was mentioning just a particular situation that involved
Yeah,
resist.
pretty much. Like, if it's like full resist columns, you just
Thomas
I
can do
guess.
that. That's great.
Yeah, Thavas is great. Like, Aqua Force is weirdly going to be like the secret meta against
Heck, the
Kagero
Novels,
for
bro.
no reason.
Right.
Right, well, yeah, but no. You should be running like 4 of these and 4 of the Novels Express.
Oh no, I was talking about the normal base grade.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No.
Gotta feel full
On top of
resist.
that, no, you shouldn't be running 2 Lexpresses because you should be finishing him on those bastards.
Nah. So,
Oh man,
here's
it's the dude.
here's the man of
He's
this
the
set.
homeboy.
The true coolest bros that I wish we 3 were cool enough to hang with, but we're not. We just
He's
watch him
chill.
from the arcade as he skateboards around.
He's scared of Chaos Breaker.
Why?
What?
Oh, in lore? Yeah. Like, I've read their master thing, and it's like, oh. Well, I mean, you should be scared of Chaos Breaker. This dude comes out of space and turns all your friends against you?
Yeah, he also broke into hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then out.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like,
Broke into hell. No!
sitting there on his throne. Hey, man, all you had to do was, like, kill yourself.
I mean, Amon.
Nah.
No.
He didn't kill himself.
No,
he
what I'm
did.
saying is that's the easy way into it. Just kill yourself. Damn, you're in. Now what?
That was too easy.
Yeah, you're right. And now you have to complete the Iron Man challenge, and then what's it called? That thing with the giant, like obstacle course people do. Did you watch? Have you seen American Dad? Like that one thing where like you can get out of hell and into heaven if you do the that one thing where you like have to like
I saw a thumbnail for a video of that involving Hitler. Was that what that was?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what that
like
was.
Hitler's like super ripped and he can do like salmon bars and shit like that, but he keeps on fucking up on the salmon bars. But he'll get into heaven someday, apparently. It's just as long as he can get that upper body strength. Mugen Lord, Dominate, Act, Vanguard, once per turn, Counterblast 1, choose a face down card, copy of the same name, turn to face up, choose up to the same number of any player's rear guards as the same number of face up cards in your G zone, and you get plus 4k until end of turn. Stand all of your opponent's rear guards that were chosen, and dominate them. And each attacks the opponent's Vanguard one at a time. You may use its abilities if you pay the cost. So this is just good. Like, there's nothing really to say about it. Everything gets plus 4k, everything stands, everything should hit the Vanguard.
See, that's what's great about him. Your opponent doesn't want to play rear guards for you to dominate? I'll get my own shit. The
Yeah.
power.
Yep.
You're taking the power regardless.
Like
You're
it's
getting
it's
smacked.
it's one of
Doesn't
those things
matter.
where there's just no bad play with using Mugen Lord unless you use
Except
it like
first
first stride. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Unless you G guarded earlier in the game, in which case it's still pretty good. And the thing is
first
that
start moves Lord's just bad altogether.
No.
the only thing that's a problem with this is an open rear guard. So like playing a full field can prevent this guy from working, but it means Mugen Lord like kind of creeps over you and
I
rubs
didn't
his
know
hands.
Furai was an open rear guard.
What?
I didn't know Furai was open. I just figured it was just called a rear guard.
Mugen Lord is a game ender. It's fantastic. It should be played in every deck, every new Batama deck.
Also a nice way to just push free damage. Oh,
Yeah,
you think
push-
you're gonna get a damage trigger? Well,
Oh.
I guess you just keep taking these.
Yep. It fucks over Sullivan if you play your cards right. You know, if you do everything right, it's probably going to win you the game if you're like third stride or something like that. So Sharharat. This guy's actually probably the best of the new grade 3s coming out here. Even for Amaruta.
That's only because Obero's not in the set.
Who?
Obero.
Oh, there.
Yeah, that's true. But Obero's in his trial deck. He's not a triple rare. Auto Vanguard, when you're a G unit strides, Soul Charge 2. If you do, the number of cards in your Darkness ability in your soul is 4 or more. Your opponent chooses one of his or her regards and retires it. That's probably going to happen because there's no reason not to run full Darkness with this guy.
Thanks, Bishiro, for putting that on main face.
Right.
Yep. And then Auto Vanguard Rearguard GB2 Darkness. When this unit attacks, the number of cards in your soul is 10 or more until in the battle. This unit is plus 5k, and the opponent cannot call grade zeros from hand to G. Sure, you'd be like, yeah, they still can use like grade 1s and G guards and other
grade
things.
zeros from the top of the deck.
And grade zeros from the top of the deck. Yeah, sure, but the thing is that
Right.
like it's still a 10k shield they can no
God.
longer play
What,
and are forced to
30
use
minutes
on
of us
something else.
Pumping up Gurgit.
Yep, totally. Like we're just talking about Gurgit really. What does it change, Gurgit? What do Gurgit?
You're stopping it from guarding from zeros to hand. Gurgit skill.
Hey,
Fuck
look.
you, Ben. I got a zero from my deck.
Turns out this set was just Overlord dot everybody else.
Yep. And then it's like, wait a second, and then you realize that the person playing Gurgit's a 12-year-old, and you start slapping them until they cry.
I didn't know Jacob White was a 12-year-old. I'll slap the
Rip.
shit out of him.
Rip.
I hope he sees this too.
Rip.
Don't rude.
Link it to him.
Link it to him. I
Tag
will.
on
Think
Facebook.
about this.
For real though, for real. Auto Vanguard once per turn. GB2 Darkness. Counterblast 1. Choose a face down card and same name as this unit from your G zone. Turn it face up. Choose 2 cards from your hand. Put them into the soul. Soul! When this unit attacks, if the number of cards in your soul is 10 or more, pay the cost. If you do, return all grade zeros from your rear guards and soul to deck. Oh.
For your guard too?
Shuffle your deck.
Soul.
Nope, rear guards and soul. Choose 2 of your units plus 5k until end of turn, and until at the end of battle, stand this unit and it gets drive plus 2. So one of the
Tibble.
yeah, basically, but the problem with this, the problem with that is that Tybalt sends everything back from the drop zone. If you don't have triggers or grade zeros rather in your soul or rear guards, or not that very many of them. First off, congratulations on having
You are
just
a god.
shitty luck. Either you have a great defensive hand or you have a great attacking thing. But
I have a deck full of grade zeros, and I'm throwing some more back.
yep,
Alright, at that point you're sacking them anyway, so.
no. The thing is that you won't actually send that many back. That's the
Yeah.
problem. So you know, there's somewhere.
5 zone.
Narukami!
Ah, Vanquish. You're
And like there's a well, let me just pull this up here. So there's this guy, there's a grade 2 that prevents grade 1s being played, and there's a bunch of other cards that gain power for certain abilities and effects, and even some it gets rid of enigmatic assassins, which is probably on design, thank you.
No, you're supposed to use their skills first, because it's on declaration that you use the skills.
Right, but the thing is that it's when you declare, when you pay the cost.
what is the effect?
So when this unit attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, return all grade zeros and rearguards and
Yeah.
soul.
The enigmatics come out first.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they go back.
Wait,
So-
is it from field?
Oh no, he's
Oh,
right.
okay,
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
right.
he was only
I said I
from
forgot that he takes the rear guard ones. That would have fucking
Yep.
saved me on a game yesterday because guys like Lettermouse, Call Enigmatics, like 3 of them. I didn't even know.
That's why you read the cards, Hanson. Yeah.
As much as I enjoy the way it is now, but yeah, good job.
Yeah,
You
they,
prevent it.
literally, I mean, if you're gonna run them, you're not gonna have
And
to worry about those.
In
Enigmatics.
Charharat, you don't really want to run Enigmatic Assassins. Maybe 1, maybe 2. 2. Yeah, you know what? I'll agree,
That's
2.
what I do. I only run the 2.
And then you like take 1 out of your grades 3s and then 1 out of your grade 1s. That's how I do it. But basically,
Basically,
Yeah.
buy the one that I'm drawing Dead Mouse's head on.
would you?
$5
You're
less.
actually gonna do it?
I will actually do it.
And then charge them more.
We'll
So,
buy it.
Multi-Pulsar Avenir Phoenix. Auto Vanguard. Counterblast 1. Choose a face-down card. Same card name as this turn. Face up, like everything else. When this unit attacks, pay the cost. If you do, reveal 5 cards from the top of the deck. Call up to 2 Zodiac Timepieces separate rearguards for each face-up card in the G-Zone. So, like, is it saying only 2? But if you had 3, like, you could only do 2?
Let me see.
You just
When this unit attacks, you may hit the cost. Reveal 5 cards.
Choose 2, up to the amount of cards
So-
in the G-Zone.
So
Yeah,
if you
you
have
choose-
5 cards in your G zone, you can call out 10 out of those 5.
Yep.
Yes, that's exactly how that works, and that's sickening. I can call
But
10.
you're limited to 5, right?
Limited to 5.
Okay.
unless
It's
you
their way
like-
of stopping you from like calling over shit. Just like call.
Yeah. All right, for each
For
face up
anything
in the G zone, and put the
preventable.
rest in the bottom of the deck in any order. And then it also has a skill: Continuous Vanguard, GB3, all your Zodiac Timepiece rearguards get plus 2k, which is actually pretty good. And if you use it to flip,
Metal Pulsar Pegasus.
I know, right?
Pegasus.
It's yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Man,
Like
it's
all of a sudden, you're getting like what plus
With any given one of those, that's
plus
like
8.
yeah, 16k.
I'll
Yeah,
say I
really
run.
easy.
I run 2 in my
Hardly
Zodiac
fuck
build.
No, I think
Pegasus
Pegasus,
and
is like just plus 1k.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
Pegasus.
So it's like
Plus
plus 12
1.
basically. But that's still pretty good. If you're that late in the game and you haven't won yet, and you're swinging for like 21k every rearguard attack, well, holy shit, what happened?
base.
Might as well be Beer Glare.
Yeah, I don't like this
No.
guy's calling skill. I understand why it is there, and you can call basically a full field. But at the same time, I feel like it should be for every 2 or something. I don't know. Then we have Mystery Freeze Dragon, the GR you don't want to get.
Rip.
Act Vanguard once per turn. I mean, like, and if this was like set like 7,
Always
this would
play
be
one.
this would be good. Yeah, you play one of everything if you can in Gear Chronicle. Counterblast 2, shuffle your deck. Bind 4 cards from the top of the deck face up. And by the way, the shuffle your deck is probably to counter the G guards that send stuff back in.
Not
No, it's to
not
help
usable
you.
with Demiurge.
It's to
That's
help
true.
you when you use
Demiurge.
Don't use this after Demiurge, guys. Bind 4 cards from the top of the deck face up,
Broken combo.
or do it beforehand. Until end of turn for the battle of this unit attacked, your opponent cannot call cards from his or her hand with the same grade as the cards bound by this effect to G. If a grade 3 card was bound, this gets drive plus 1. So, like, if you get 4... No, it's not for every grade 3 bound,
No,
but,
it's
like, if you get, like, 4 grade 3s, you fucked.
You
You
fucked.
fucked up, and you can't stride. Probably.
I
It's
used
going to
it
be harder.
once and I got 0 through 3, and I'm like, God, if only this was the original one, I had an extra turn
Mystery
coming my way.
freeze. And then it's like,
save my 4 counter.
yeah, no, this is fine. The fact that it can get like 4 drives, and you can prevent them perfect shielding is pretty strong. However, it's a GR and a set with Gancelot Peace Saver.
Peace Saver?
Peace Saver. Vanguard. Auto. When this unit attacks, if you have a heart card with Alfred or Blaster in the card name, countercharge 1. Until end of battle, this unit gets drive plus 1. And if you have a face-up card in your G zone, this gets a crit. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's face-up, you get a crit. And then continuous G zone. During your turn, if this card is face-up, all your rear guards with Blast Blade in the card names get continuous resist. So thank goodness it's not on your opponent's turn that they get resist. Whew! But we still got problems. We got problems.
Really good.
Right here in United Sanctuary. With a capital G that rhymes with P that stands for Saver. Shut up. So you get countercharge, 4 drives, and a crit. If this is anything but the absolute first drive with no G guarding. Alright? And then during your turn you get resist. So in other words, I can't tap things when it comes out with, out of curiosity, this includes Blaster Blade Exceed, right?
Does it say Blaster and Alfred?
Blaster Blade in the card name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Every
Just
single
wanted to
last
make sure.
Blaster Blade.
So in other words, like for Darkface, I can't just go Soul Blast 2, it comes in tap. No, it has resist. Like the resist hits it when it comes out, as long as this is face up in the G zone. You know, I can't hit it with a Denial Griffin. I can't wipe it with anything unless it's a universal attack of some kind or something that hits something else and also retires it, because it doesn't choose.
I'm telling you, man, set 13 spiked G guard. Just you use it, you get to take a rear guard, gets 10k, and it swings at them.
Yep. I mean, but that'd be hilarious though.
Yep.
Like, just randomly. So what happened? Looks like he's breaking his contract and attacking his own quarterback. Oh boy, what a
That's gonna be
turnaround.
my favorite thing about Dominate, taking over like a quarterback guy, that guy like, God, he's attacking his own teammates!
Either way, guys. I'm not going to do the reprints because Shiranui is Cannonblast 1 with this unit strides. By the way, there's
Tell
not...
him to look it up.
Just look it up. I also have it memorized.
Card,
Cannonblast 1, do you have to discard one of your own cards?
No.
No, that's
They
right.
just discard one and
Yep,
bind a
they
rear
discard a card from hand and bind a rear guard. And then we have, it gets like plus 10k and a crit if you have like more cards than them, I think. Less? It's one of them. Look it up. And then we have Noroi, which is the crit, and as well as Witch of Cloves, the stride, which is... They only had like one Legion. Like it was the poor choice to choose. They should have gone full like Regalia, Yggdrasil.
See, Ben had his way, they'd have all
Or
our
not
reprint and
Rig
Brunhilde.
Yggdrasil. Yes, I would have seen Brunhilde support a long time ago. No, it's not Yggdrasil. It's Ment.
Oh, you're thinking of which 3?
Yes, Fennel, Ment, or whatever her name is. Yeah, basically. They should have gone for Mint and the 12k attacker for witches. That would have been a much better thing, because it's like plus 5ks to a round and like crit to herself or something like that.
I feel like the
But,
new witches out of this have function a lot more without the legions. It's just that you play them because they're really good.
Yeah, like is there a witch ace that works without Legion?
Yeah, I
Amber?
think they got one this set.
Hmm.
Maybe. They had a new 3.
No, it's a witch. And this is a witch too. This
I don't think it's a high rarity for
no, I don't know what it is.
They just have like 4.
Maybe there's a witch running around. But yeah, that's the reprints. They're not that special. The Shiranui one is though. This is, by the way, guys. This is the time to buy the cards. Like, don't complain about price hikes later on when people realize Dominate's OP or something and Shiranui's OP, and then they buy up all the
Dominate
reprints.
only has like 2 counter decks.
Yeah, and like there's some like soft counter decks, but even then they still find ways to fuck them over. So if you're gonna, I see complaints all the time. Get it, buy it now, buy it while it's still like price warring. You have 1 week, because this video is probably gonna go up Friday or Saturday or something. All right, I'm gonna let you go.
They call themselves Imagine Your Goddess.
What a bunch of a-holes.
Hooked on a feeling, I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. I'm hooked on a feeling.
Whoa, guys! Did you know that Imagine Your Goddess has its own web store? Check out all the neat merchandise. Ball scrolls, playmats,
Don't forget about the acrylics and the other goodies.
Kohaleth,
Yeah, I'm here.
Get them in-store at the stand-up series, or check us out online at our website, shopibyg.com. We're always adding new stuff. Imagine your goddess.